Your voice may not seem as important as others. Like there may be people with more obstacles that they've had to overcome, more difficulties, and they might have a longer story, but that doesn't mean that your voice is not as important.
Everybody has potential to be a leader, and if you just put yourself out there, give yourself a chance, and good things can happen for sure.
And the more that we can empower students to speak up and to allow them to put into action some of their ideas, the better off we're all going to be.
The education landscape is constantly evolving. Staying ahead of the trends is essential. Welcome to EdBuzz LA County, where we explore groundbreaking initiatives, inspiring stories, and innovative practices shaping the future of learning here in Southern California. Today we're talking about something that matters more than ever, student empowerment. Across our schools, students are stepping up to lead and to use their voices to shape the future of education. I'm Elizabeth Graswich, Executive Director of Public Affairs and Communications, and joining me today is Dr. Debra Duardo, Los Angeles County Superintendent of Schools, and two amazing student leaders from the Superintendent Student Advisory Council, Lecuona and Isabella Botero Maronyan. Welcome to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you
for having us.
So happy to have you here today. As we start our conversation today, we thought we'd kind of start with the new school year. Dr. Duardo, it's always a big time of year for Los Angeles County Office of Education. What's on your mind as we head into a new year?
Well, a lot of excitement. The start of the new year is always a lot of fun, a lot of work, but a lot of excitement, a lot of hope. Want to make sure we're doing well by our students. Some of the top priorities are just making sure that every school creates a welcoming environment. We want to start off the year well, where students feel safe and included and comfortable at school. We also think about those students who don't show up at school right away. So really looking to make sure that every single student is coming back. So we need to make sure that students are aware of when school starts, that they're coming back to school, that they're ready and able to learn. Also just being aware of some of the challenges that are going on in our communities with some of the ice raids. People are still overcoming some of the challenges from the wildfires. We heard about floods in Texas. So some of the mental health, some of the well-being, we want to make sure that students feel supported, ready, and excited about showing up at school.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is also the time of year in which we recruit for your student advisory. So it's a good opportunity to tell people about it. Can you share a little bit about the student advisory?
Yeah, I'm so excited about having a student advisory. This is actually the 6th cohort of student advisors. And it's a wonderful opportunity to highlight student voice. It's an opportunity for students to engage with the superintendent and other students to talk about what's relevant to them, what they're passionate about, what they want their school leaders to pay attention to. And each year they have the opportunity to decide what are the key areas that they want to focus on. In the past, they've had the opportunity to do an equity focus. Last year they did a student empowerment summit at UCLA, and everything again is student-led. Students decide what the topic is. Students decide where the activity is going to take place, who they want to invite to participate. It gives students the opportunity to be exposed to being in that leadership position, because they're all leaders, and it gives us an opportunity to really hear directly from students from across the entire county, to make sure that as I'm making decisions that are going to have a direct impact on their lives, that I'm connected with them and hearing about what's important and what are some of the challenges they're facing, what are the things they love about school. And it's really a just strong leadership opportunity for students.
Yeah, it's a wonderful program. And, both Isabella and Liam were part of it last year, and you both were very involved in the planning of the Student Empowerment Summit. Can you share a little bit about, highlights from the Student Empowerment Summit and, maybe takeaways for you?
One of the highlights was just to see how much it impacted people. I just loved when we went into smaller classrooms and more involved workshops to hear how much students really want to be involved. It was heartbreaking to hear like the difficulties that they have in some of the communities, but again, inspiring to hear how like so many students really want to make a change, start clubs, start programs, and it's just wonderful to hear how we are helping others. And like I saw some of the students from my school come in, and it was just so surprising to see them, and they were like very like happy to be there and really enjoying the event. So
Awesome.
Yeah, I definitely agree, Isabella. Personally, I didn't have much experience with event planning at all, so it was a really great opportunity for me to get used to that and work with all the people at LA County Office of Education. They were all such kind people to work with, Ms. Lascar, Dr. Esqueda, Dr. Duardo, and it was just great to have a connection with them and work with all the other students as well to make something happen for sure.
Well, and I know how much they enjoyed working with all of you as well. We had a chance to speak with other students who attended the summit to hear their thoughts on leadership, advocacy, and personal growth. Let's take a look.
I think I've grown the most in advocacy, and that's really in noticing that advocacy is not about yourself, but in the people that you talk to and interact with. So bringing all the feedback from my own school, from my community, and then sharing that with a bigger group and noticing the trends that we're seeing across different school districts, and also sharing perspectives. So I think advocacy was really the biggest thing I took away from this experience.
One of my favorite parts was really learning like how to build a team and how to lead like initiatives that help, put together an event like this. When you're planning something this big to this scale with like 400 students, it feels different because you know that like you're gonna have one big sort of statement event that people are gonna walk away from saying, wow, I really learned something from that.
I've learned to, in a way, listen more, in a way, and trying to, understand everyone's perspective and trying to develop upon that more. But in terms of advocacy, I would say trying to understand my peers and, trying to get their side of the story and how can I present that to administration and we can tackle that.
Something that I want to tell all of our future advisory members is really that you should work to inspire those around you, because the people that are around you will learn from you and you'll be learning from them. So that's a very important part of being on the council, is being able to take all of the input that you get and also being able to give input to others and have a learning cycle with them. This is a process of, becoming a better version of yourself, and the council will allow you to do that.
Some great voices from the Student Empowerment Summit. Dr. Duardo, how have you seen student voices through this council shape, leadership's understanding of student experiences?
Well, first of all, you can see from hearing from the students that participated how brilliant they are and what natural leaders they are. And I think as educators and people working directly with children, we see students and we know that they have some of the best solutions to some of the challenges that we're all facing in education. I think it gets educators to really believe in their students, to engage them more, to encourage them to continue on with their leadership. But they have lots of answers. They've talked about the things that are relevant to them, that they care about. They've talked about sustainability issues. They've talked about inclusiveness. They talked about addressing some of the challenges with homelessness in our community and mental health challenges. And I think that as the adults listen to what students care about, what's relevant to them, it makes it easier for us to plan programs that we know that are going to interest them and engage them.
And Liam, what's been your experience of the council? Was there anything that surprised you about it?
Yeah, a couple things actually. First and foremost, I was surprised with how accessible and again kind like all the LACO leaders were. They were just such great people to work with. And then I think it also surprised me that like the online meetings, when we broke out, when we split off into our breakout rooms, it was really great to work with everybody closely and without the pressure of being on a Zoom of however many people and worrying about like, what will they think of what I'm saying, but really just working closely with all the other students. Everybody had a really important role. So yeah, that was great.
Yeah, it's awesome as you get to work with these students from all over the county. We're such a huge county,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
And otherwise you probably wouldn't meet. So
Yeah.
that's very cool. Isabella, we are in the process of recruiting. So what would you say to other people that are considering applying to the council?
I would just say take the opportunity while you can. It's just a wonderful thing. I truly believe that this is a great opportunity for leadership and to network with others. Like Liam said, we met so many high level educators who are just so kind, and they really helped us create this event. And it's just wonderful seeing how you work so hard all throughout the year, and then at the end you just have this wonderful summit and this wonderful event for people to appreciate, to be inspired by. And it's just a wonderful opportunity that really showcases how many leaders we have in our community.
Well, exactly. And Dr. Duardo, every year the council kind of focuses on one thing. What's next? What are they going to be working on next year?
That totally depends on the students because they drive every part of this. So one of the things that we're excited about that they told us from last year is they wanted more in-person meetings. So we're going to do more in person so they have the opportunity to really be in the room with their peers and with us. And that's what we're going to explore with them. It's a matter of coming together and having conversations and listening to what they want. And in the past, there tends to be these general themes that keep coming up over and over again. And again, that's inclusivity, feeling like they have a voice in their schools and in their systems, addressing some of the well-being, mental health challenges, and some of the other challenges that we face in our communities, but also just wanting to make sure that school is fun and that school is meaningful and that they get what they deserve out of it, which is a high-quality education that's going to prepare them for wherever they want to go in their future. So whatever we decide to do, whether it's creating a video, doing another empowerment summit, or something completely different, we'll wait to see what the students say they want to do because they're leading this.
Well, and as we wrap up the show, a final question for all of you as we head into a new year. What would be your advice to students who want to have a voice and be a leader in their school communities? And I'll start with you, Dr. Duardo.
Well, I think the number one thing is that their voice matters. So students need to know that they know what's best for them. They know what's engaging to them, what's going to hold their interest. And so we need to hear from them. We need to know what they want so that we can plan and make decisions that are going to best meet their needs. And I also want students to know that they don't already have to be in a leadership position. They don't have to be an A student. They just have to be someone who wants to commit to making their school a better school, and that they have things that they're interested in learning about and implementing, and that everyone has leadership abilities, whether you sit on a leadership team or student council already or not. And if you're passionate, you want to meet other students across the county, you want to do something extra and fun, then you're the perfect fit. Come join us.
Absolutely. Liam, your advice for students?
Yeah, I definitely agree with everything Dr. Duardo said. I think a big part of that also is just kind of putting yourself out there. I know personally, when I was applying for this council, I didn't think that it was something that I would be able to be a part of. I was like, okay, I'll try. I'll put my foot in the water. I'll see if maybe there's a chance. And I got lucky and I was able to be a part of this wonderful council. And so, yeah, I would just say to any student, like Dr. Duardo said, everybody has potential to be a leader. And if you just put yourself out there, give yourself a chance, and good things can happen for sure.
Love it. And Isabella, you've got the final word.
I want to kind of piggyback off of the idea that your voice in some situations may not seem as important as others. There may be people with more obstacles that they've had to overcome, more difficulties, and they might have a longer story, but that doesn't mean that your voice is not as important. Everybody's voice is equally as important. And when you start sharing, you inspire others to share. And when we share in an understanding community, hate starts to fade away. People start to accept one another and appreciate the fact that we have wonderful diversity and that everybody's story is different, and that it's just incredible to be in this huge school district and this huge community with such wonderful and different people.
Yeah. And I just have to add, I mean, you just listening to our students, you can see that they may be young, but they are extremely smart. They have this deep understanding already of what it means to exist, you know, in this world, amongst their peers, in their schools, and they have so much to add. And Isabella and Liam have done an excellent job as leaders. I know you're going to come back next year as well. So, you know, both of you are coming back next year. So it's just super exciting to see that they have the answers. And the more that we can empower students to speak up and to allow them to put into action some of their ideas, the better off we're all going to be.
Such great messages for the start of a school year. So I want to thank Dr. Duardo, Liam, and Isabella for joining us today. When students are empowered, they don't just participate, they lead. Whether it's organizing events, speaking up on key issues, or shaping policy, their voices matter. Here's to a new year full of opportunity, advocacy, and leadership. I'm Dr. Elizabeth Graswich. I'll see you next time on EdBuzz.